And we're back.
and we're back. It's a hell of an intro.
Yeah.
So you're wearing you're wearing a taco shirt.
I'm wearing a taco shirt.
I had tacos for dinner.
Did you really? We're
did.
gonna have tacos tomorrow night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Taco Fridays?
Taco Thursdays.
Well, at least Taco Thursday they both start with T's.
So
They're
fish tacos. So
they're not even real tacos.
F starts with fish.
Yeah, but F starts with fish?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to mean. What do you mean F starts with fish?
Anything that starts with F is a fish.
Hello and welcome to the Movie Man Podcast.
We are the B-Team.
That's Carl.
And that over there is Brady.
And we're back with a interesting news week.
Newsy news.
Bunch of friggin' hot topics. Things to talk about.
Not the clothing store.
Well, we'd like to introduce our new partnership.
What?
It's, we've partnered with a store that used to be all emo and punk rock stuff, and now it's pop figures and Stranger Things bullshit. Fuck, it makes me so mad. Right? Hot topic. The anime store. So, like...
That's the new punk rock.
So we're going shut the hell up. We're going to jump into our news episode, but before we can do that, we have a segment called
Tech Horizon Spotlight.
Tech Horizon Spotlight.
Are we putting my name in front of it?
I'm not taking credit for it. Where Carl rambles off 3 different topics with totally aloof titles or descriptors, taglines.
Yeah.
For the 3 topics, I choose one of them, and then he tells us about some cool technological advancement that's happening in the world. I don't really know why we do this. It doesn't have anything to do with the movie news, but
I just decided. I thought this I get these things.
Yeah,
I'd like to share them with you. I think you might enjoy them. We might as well do this news. Like I get, like a lot of times I get them. I never tell anybody about them. I'm just like, and I think to myself, that is really freaking cool.
Right.
And then I never get to have a conversation about it. So
like solar freaking roadways. You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that video?
Yeah,
So good.
Those are cool.
All right.
It's not a thing still. But
it didn't become a thing. It was like video was like 15 years ago.
Last I read up about it was just like, even though they work, quote unquote, they're not feasible whatsoever. Like,
expensive
way
as
too
hell.
expensive.
Yeah, for sure. All right. What do we got this week?
All right. We got I scream, you scream, we all scream for dice cream. We have not so black hole. And we have
sorry, I'm
catching
still
rockets.
I'm still held up on dice cream. Cuz like I don't know, my mind's going to horrible places. Anytime you say the word cream, my mind just goes
Dirty
to like
boy.
bad. Well, and then you say dice, and then I think Dungeons and Dragons, and then I think 40-year-old virgins creaming over getting a nat 20. And look, I'm a Dungeons and Dragons fan. Like I should say, this is not, this is not some super cool hip guy throwing the nerds under the bus.
You've rolled the dice.
I'm right there with them. I'm just not 40 yet. Not so black hole. And then what was the other one?
Catching rockets.
I gotta go with dice cream.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta know.
So the not so black hole. We go through the other for ones just real briefly. So I can't remember if this is NASA. I'm not going to bother reading the article. Some images were taken of the black hole at the center of our universe.
There's a black hole at the center of the universe?
Apparently.
How do we even know?
It's called Sagittarius A.
So here's a question that you don't have the answer to.
A star. Sagittarius A star. Sorry.
Like, we're constantly, like, okay, so the universe is constantly expanding. And we're also, like, to the best of my knowledge, we're still like we're building bigger and better telescopes that are allowing us to see further and further,
and in different ways.
Right.
Which this one's about.
Which means we haven't seen all there is to see. We don't have the full universe mapped out. So how the hell have we been able to determine what the center of the universe is?
I don't know. Anyway, it just like
okay.
That's what this article talks about.
Is what it is.
There's a black hole at the center of our center of our galaxy, not universe.
Oh, see, that's different. That's different.
Yeah.
Semantics.
I misread that.
Yeah.
And it's called Sagittarius
Details
A star.
of the devil.
And they took a picture of it.
Okay.
With some kind of fancy camera or lens or something.
With Canon Rebel.
It was able to like show the gravitational waves of this star or this black hole.
The black hole.
Check it out.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's like not gyroscope. What's that?
It's like if you take a sparkler and you spin it around.
No, yeah, but what was that?
Anyway,
you remember that? No. Remember that toy
we can't stick
shut
on
up.
this.
Remember the toy you could get as a kid that was like, is it spirograph? What's it called? Where you would you had like all these different sized gears, and then you would put your pen in one of the holes and move it around on the paper, and you would get like cool,
like a little bit like
Dreamcatcher type shit. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
Catching rockets. So China's looking to catch up to SpaceX. SpaceX lands parts of their rocket to save on costs. China's looking to catch their rockets in a kind of similar way, but also using this kind of weird net contraption. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
But you chose Dice Cream.
Yeah.
You scream, I scream, we all scream for Dice Creams.
Because I assume like Dice Cream and 40-year-old virgins and dungeon masters, I assume that's what people mean when they say slide into the DM.
Yeah, so it's got nothing to do with any of that.
Oh, come on. Are you just gonna
It flows. It's right. Like once I tell you what it is, you're gonna be like,
No, I know, but I just made like a dungeon master pegging joke, and you're just gonna go right past that?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm above that low grade humor. All right. So you've seen those I'm sure you've seen those pizza boxes, like the automated pizza machine boxes.
Oh, like a pizza vending machine.
Yeah. There's a few of them. Like there's one up at Tobermory and
like I don't think I've seen one in person, but I'm aware of them. I've seen videos.
So I've seen a few. Like there's one up if you ever go to Tobermory, there's one like just on the outskirts of Tobermory.
Okay.
This company is looking to make an ice cream version of that, essentially. Yeah.
It seems easy enough.
One scoop in 40 seconds.
It seems easier to do that
can process 3 orders at a time, 40 tubs of ice cream inside it.
Does that not seem easier to do than pizza does? Like pizza seems like a
little bit
bigger task.
But it's it's got like a whole bunch of toppings and a bunch of arms, and here, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like. Like that's it. So it looks kind of.
It looks kind of like a parlor counter.
Yeah, it
like
does.
A diner.
Yeah.
Thing. That's cool.
Yeah. So it's cool, but this is the one time I've actually kind of showed my wife one of these things. And I was like, check this weird thing out.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's odd. Would you really even do that? And I was like, no, absolutely not. I would go to an actual ice cream store and buy ice cream from a person.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you're, say you're small town bumpkin tourist trap, cottage country, whatever, and you're in a town that has that or a Dairy Queen, you're going to hit up that vending machine because it's kind of a fun novelty. Like,
no, I'm not.
Let's give this a try.
I want a Dairy Queen.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't want the experience of at least trying it and seeing like, Is it all it's cracked up to be, and is it good? And is it?
Man, I'm an old soul. I'm paying for service. I don't go through self-checkout. I go through self-checkout like the only time I ever go through self-checkout is if there is major lines at the other tills.
Right.
And I've only got like 1 or 2 items.
Right.
If there's major lines at the other tills and I've got a grocery cart, I'm waiting in line like everyone else.
Well, not like everyone else, because a lot of people are using self-checkout. But I
like everyone else should.
Why? Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, let's jump into our news topics for today. Now, you and I have talked a little bit about the Fantastic Four.
Sure have.
And we got our Fantastic Four casting a little while back. We talked about that. Someone who wasn't cast, and a name that we've brought up several times in terms of what direction could the MCU go in if they were to drop the whole Kang venture, is Doctor Doom. All right, we've talked about Doom a lot. Now, obviously, we haven't gotten any confirmation that Doom's in the Fantastic Four movie. We certainly didn't get any casting for him. And I kind of asked you, I remember posing the question, well, what are the odds that he's not in it, right? Maybe he's not in it. And that's completely possible that Doctor Doom won't be in the Fantastic Four movie. There are other antagonists, certainly, that the Fantastic Four go up against.
Yeah. It would be weird, though, because, like, he's the Luthor to Superman.
Well,
to the Fantastic Four.
We now have our casting for the Silver Surfer. Again, they could still have Doom in there, but for sure they're having Silver Surfer. Now, whether that's in an antagonistic role, if it's in a sort of a friendly face role, I don't know. Here's the thing, though. The low-life, floor-licking, cousin-humping, basement trolls on the internet are very upset about this casting. Very upset. And it's not because the actor's the wrong height. It's not because the actor has the wrong skin color, right? You're going to use CGI and whatever else to make them silver anyways. What difference does that make? It has nothing to do with ethnicity. It has nothing to do with, body, stature, none of those things. It's because this Silver Surfer has ovaries. They have cast a female to play Silver Surfer. Now, there are a bunch of asswipes on the internet who are like, Marvel's so woke now, and why are you doing a gender swap, and why are you blah, 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 and, sorry. To which the more sensible and educated and not floor-licking loser people have responded. You're thinking of the where'd the names go here? Because I'm going to butcher the name. You're thinking of the Norrin Rad? Norrin Rad, yeah. Silver Surfer. Well, she hasn't been cast as the Norrin Rad. Julia Garner has been cast as the Shala Ball Silver Surfer from the comics, who is a female Silver Surfer. So you know what? Go suck an egg. You know what? You still don't have to like the casting. You don't have to like the fact that they are choosing this iteration of Silver Surfer, but don't hop in the comment section of posts and go, why are they changing the gender? Because they're not. They're not. They haven't changed the character. They're not doing a gender swap. They're not doing a sex swap. I don't even know what the politically correct term for that is now anymore, but they're not. They're casting a different version than what you're familiar with, right? It's like Hal Jordan versus Guy Gardner versus, there's different iterations of the character. Different people have taken up that mantle. So anyways, Julia Garner is our Silver Surfer. Okay, cool. Cool. I mean, Silver Surfer is not a character. Silver Surfer typically has a little bit more of a monotone, or not monotone, but like is out of touch in terms of humanity, right? Isn't deeply rooted in humanity.
I wouldn't say that.
No?
No. I would say his humanity is he comes across as very extremely stoic in animated versions.
Right, but
and even so the live action version that we got. But he's rooted in humanity.
But he's not human.
He's an alien.
Right.
But
so he can't be rooted in
using
humanity.
the term humanity is like
refers to humans.
Well, no, yes, but
yeah.
like in the term, to me, the way you're using it is like humanitarian, like
no,
caring
that's not how I'm using it.
Caring about life.
No, I'm meaning it more in terms of like in touch with the human condition and the things that humans worry about and put value in. Whereas Silver Surfer has got a much bigger picture of the cosmos.
I would still disagree.
And a much bigger understanding of what's out there. And Earth is Earth, and the day-to-day struggles and worries of common folk is a little bit less of a concern for the Silver Surfer.
Using your definition, I would still disagree.
Okay.
Because he comes, even though he's an alien, he comes from a very humanoid planet. Like
right.
He is a humanoid form. He doesn't.
Well, sure,
he's not overly alien in nature. He actually, his species looks like humans.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
But his whole thing is like his Galactus was coming to his planet.
Yeah.
He's going to eat it, destroy it. And he offered himself as Galactus, as Herald, to save his planet and the love of his life. His wife.
Right.
I'm not sure. They're married. I can't remember. But anyway,
I'm not saying he doesn't
that
have
in its essence
compassion.
is no, but that in its essence is are very human, like the way you described what being a human or whatever was, the verbs or descriptors you use, I would say Nor and Rad would ascribe to those.
Well,
and that's why he goes around the galaxy finding uninhabited planets for Galactus to eat instead of planets that have life on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still differing a little bit in our understanding of what I mean by humanity. Like humanity in the sense that like we are as a species, even though we know that the galaxy and the sun and whatever doesn't revolve around the Earth, we act like that's our mentality, right? And when push comes to shove, we care about our planet. And
his view of the galaxy is not the way a human would view the galaxy. Yes,
exactly. So, anyways, all that being said, I'm not sure that the Silver Surfer in a lot of renditions, and that doesn't mean that this one won't be. But I'm not sure the Silver Surfer is a role that really requires an Oscar caliber actor to inhabit. I'm not saying she's not, right? She's been in a bunch of things like Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, which some people liked, some people didn't. That's fine. She hasn't been in a lot. She hasn't been in a lot of things that we would all, if you're scrolling down our IMDb, you're probably not going to recognize a lot of the things that are there. But the MCU's done that many times and has done it many times with great success. So I don't think that that's necessarily,
So
an indicator of how well she'll do.
I have other thoughts on this.
Okay.
So I heard about this long before we talked about it.
A couple days ago.
Well, it's been more than 6 days since news broke that Silver Surfer is going to be female. I know that because I actually just watched a video today kind of going into this idea.
Yep.
From Benny from Comic Storian, my comic book YouTube guy that I like watching. And it was 6 days old and he was going into it. So maybe I haven't seen much of it recently, and the video was 6 days old. But at that time, what he's talking about, he couldn't find any sources to say that she was confirmed to be playing it.
Because at that point she wasn't. 4 days ago she was.
Okay.
Yeah.
There. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't change kind of what I'm about to say. When I heard it, I was on the fence with it. I was like, okay, I guess Silver Surfer can be female. Just been female before.
Has been in the comics. Yep.
It's not really the Herald is the mantle that gets passed on, not Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer that is a female is an alternate Earth Silver Surfer. Like it is Norrin Rad's spouse or beloved, whatever you want to call it, from a one-off miniseries of comics. So it was a very short run.
I mean, we are dealing with a multiverse right now.
We are, right? So, and this is, I'm going to get into like what Benny had said in his article. And after hearing his article, I was like, okay, yeah, I can buy into it a bit more. But there was something else he said in it, which really hit home. And I'll get into that too in a sec. So he kind of went into like the thing that we've talked about it like a bit. The character of Silver Surfer doesn't inherently have to be male or female. It's not necessary.
It's not intrinsic to the character.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, intrinsic to the character. It can you can race or swap it. You can
gender
swap. Right. Okay. Yeah. And it's been done before. Okay. Yeah. The thing he said that really hit home for me was he dove into the fact that Marvel's big issue with this and with a lot of the other problems they've had with these casting announcements is they're just telling us who's playing the parts and they're not giving us any more information.
Well, like what?
Well,
Marvel's never done that though. Marvel has always been the most secretive studio out there.
He's proposing that that's part of the problem. What's the storyline? Is it alternate Earth? Is it the core MCU or is it alternate Earth? Are the Fantastic Four going to be alternate Earth? Trying to find their way and they get end up but I think there's
quit playing with your microphone.
His biggest point there is that by not giving us any information except for the casting, you allow you're leaving people in the dark, and they just speculate the crap out of it.
Oh, so what?
And then you get internet trolls, and you get people that are for.
Yeah, but these internet trolls commenting on things are harmless.
Is that tell me something to know if the project is actually going to be good.
Oh,
so that I can actually get behind it.
You can so couple of responses.
I agree with that, and I think part of that. No. I think we're kind of part of the problem in that.
What do you mean?
We kind of I'm behind. I'm not articulating as well as he did. I recommend you watch the video. It's a problem with the Silver Surfer being female, I think is his title of his video I watched. But I think
pull your mic down a little bit. It's too high and there you go.
Okay. I feel I'm going to bump it with my hand, but anyway.
Well, keep your hands down.
I think we're part of the problem that we like that. We like to speculate who's going to play the characters.
Well, we're a movie news talk show.
No, I get that, but it doesn't mean that we can't be part of the problem. Like we're a movie news talk. We're a movie news talk show.
Yeah.
Podcast, right?
Yeah.
But even if we weren't a podcast, we'd still be speculating.
Sure.
We still want to know who's playing it. I think as a fandom, we're putting too much emphasis and pressure on the studios to get the casting right instead of getting a good script right.
Right. Okay. So a couple things. Number one, if we didn't have a movie news talk show, we'd still be talking about it. My opinions on it would still be the same. My opinions on it would still be people chill
I'm not
out.
saying our opinions would change.
No. I disagree with that guy, and then we do have to move on for the sake of time here. But I disagree with that guy's assessment because that comes out of it. You can have a great synopsis for a movie. You could have a great plot, right? Like the script could leak tomorrow. And we could sit and read the script and go, oh my God, this is great. Could be a shit movie, right? Depending on the direction, depending on the acting, depending on the special effects, depending on the soundtrack, depending on the audio. There's so many factors that go into it. So yes, story is a big part of it, but you can have a great story in a shit movie. It happens all the time. The other thing in terms of give us something more, give us something other than just casting. I think as a film fan community, over the last 15 years, maybe 20 years, with things becoming more and more accessible with the internet, a little bit maybe 20 years ago, a little bit more maybe 15 years ago, but I think really in the last 5 to 10 years it has intensified, and I include myself in this grouping. The difference is that some people aren't cognizant of it. Some people are this way and are just ignorant of it. We have become entitled shits because we want to know things that we ultimately don't need to know. We want things. There was a point in time where you would get the first trailer, first teaser or first trailer for a movie. You'd see it in the theater or maybe on YouTube like a month and a half before the movie came out, maybe 2 months before the movie came out. Now we get trailers in some cases a year before the movie comes out because we need to know more, and we need to know more now, and we want more and more details. There is absolutely, even when it comes down to casting, right? Now, there are details that you want to release because in terms of that's the whole point of a trailer, right? Is to entice people to come see your film. However, to say at the time of this casting that what we need is not this casting information, what we need is some plot details. We're over a year away from this movie coming out. I don't give two shits what is the release date of this film? Release date of Fantastic Beasts. Fantastic. That's never coming out again. Fantastic Four. July 25th, 2025. We're over a year away from this movie, which means nobody at this point, except for angry trolls on the internet, are making up their mind about whether or not they're going to go see this movie, right? It's just the people going like, oh, I'm going to miss this one. I'm not going to go see this. I'm not going to. And then rightfully so, you see people commenting underneath, yeah, you are. Like, yeah, no, you probably are. People are like, I've seen every MCU movie up until this point, but I'm skipping this one. It's like, no, you're probably not. You're probably going to go see it. So I don't know. I mean, to each their own, right? But the way I view that is those are we are not actually entitled to anything.
Yeah.
To any information.
That's kind of part of what I'm saying by it's like, this is kind of like we're kind of at fault as a fandom for this.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
But the landscape is what it is.
I'm kind of saying like we should be happy with what they give us when they give it to us.
Exactly.
Which would be more like we'd get the casting and probably a trailer like at the same time because that's how it used to happen, right?
Yeah.
But with leaks and people clawing for information.
No,
and
you would get casting information ahead of time, but it would be less widespread available because this would be information that would come out in like an entertainment magazine or whatever.
Yeah, I suppose.
Right? Because
maybe.
Michael Keaton as Batman in '89, people knew Keaton was Batman before that first trailer dropped. It was that first trailer that made so many people shut the hell up. Right? So many people was like, what? Mr. Mom's gonna be Batman. And then that first trailer came out.
You remember those people saying that,
and then the silence. No, but you read up on it, man. There's like mini documentaries on it. Same thing, Heath Ledger as Joker.
Yeah.
Right? So, anyways, moving on. Do you know, if I say the name Christopher McDonald, do you know
the comedian?
I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Flubber. He was in... I think one of the American Pie movies.
Didn't he pass away?
He was he's still alive. No, don't look this up yet.
I'm looking up his name.
No, don't look it up because
I gotta remember what he looks like.
No, because stop. Wait, because I want to reveal it.
I'm not gonna.
It's gonna pop up the first thing. I just
want to look at his face.
You stupid bastard.
Just keep talking.
No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for you to accidentally spoil it for yourself.
Oh, fair. What was his last name again?
Doesn't matter. Williamson. Christopher Williamson.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Put your phone down.
No, it's not.
Put your phone down and just let me tell you the news. He was recently doing an interview. And he said that... so one of the roles that he played was... like we said, Flubber. He's in Happy Gilmore as Shooter McGavin. He was in American Pie. Right. He's in all kinds of stuff. And news dropped this week.
I already know what this is.
Yeah, see? So why you got to be a bitch?
Why do you got to be a bitch?
Because
you're being a dick. You think I don't get my own news sources?
Listen.
You act like you got the know and I don't.
You know what? You want to know what? It is. It's 10 after 1 in the morning.
Tell the good people what it is.
And I'm trying to like move through these topics. I like reduce the number of topics because you're like, oh, I gotta go to bed. It's so late all the time. It's so late. And you're like, no, let me look it up. I need to get like a cell phone jammer or something in here. That just like I could just like turn on.
I don't understand why you got to be so secretive about it. It's not that big a deal.
It's kind of a big deal.
I already know what it is.
We're getting a sequel to Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I think it's a horrible idea.
Oh, yeah. It's a stupid idea.
The reason why I think, look, we're getting all kinds of legacy sequels, right?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And there's something fun about the nostalgia aspect of these legacy sequels. It's great to see characters that we know and love on screen again, yada yada. Sure. But Adam Sandler movies have become much more hit and miss than they used to be. And at least personally for me, more often they're a miss.
Yeah, his style of comedy for his comedy movies has not changed.
Which this would be. It's just dated now.
It's not changed, and because of that, yeah, it's very dated. And I mean, I still find a fair amount of that comedy funny, but that's because I grew up with the Sandler
but
comedy, right?
But there's a big difference between Big Daddy and something like why did I just watch Big Daddy? I just watched Big Daddy not long ago. There's a big difference between something like Big Daddy and like Don't Mess with the Zohan or That's My Boy or Jack and Jill. Like those are all garbage movies.
Those are all pretty not pretty close, but they're all within a 10-year span.
Yeah.
I would say like the Grown Ups. Grown Ups is funny.
Great. Yeah, Grown Ups is great.
But it's still that same style of humor.
Oh, Grown Ups is a much different style of humor than Jack and Jill. Much different style of humor.
I don't know. It's kind of
Have you seen Jack and Jill?
Sticky.
Have you seen Jack and Jill?
I haven't seen Jack and Jill.
Where he's playing himself and his twin sister?
No.
Yeah, it's garbage.
It's still kind of slapsticky, still kind of got a childish humor about it.
The Ridiculous Six was garbage.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
But it had funny parts. But man, it's what I'm trying to say is like he carved out a niche for himself in what was it, mid-90s?
Yeah,
or
like
late
with
90s,
Billy Madison.
Yeah, with his the kind of like what you could call his golden years of silver screen.
Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and Big Daddy were kind of the Mr. Deeds.
And so he has a fan base, and those are really the only people that find his stuff funny. And you know what? I think he knows what he likes and he thinks is funny, and he knows people like that and think that he's funny. And he's making stuff he enjoys, and people want to pay money for it. Some of it's hit and miss. A lot of it, people think it's more miss than hit.
I wonder if sometimes he's less making things he enjoys and nowadays, and more so just making a shit ton of money.
I think it's more just like he's doing stuff. I seen a funny. It was a very short video essay on his works.
Yeah,
and how he always plays the same character, and which
is not true, but
the character's very similar. It's usually a very childish, selfish character, goes through some sort of trial or hardship, comes out the other end, still a childish character, but having more responsibility and grown and matured a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's for sure exceptions.
There's a common thread that runs through all his characters in that aspect. And the video essay was like pointing to Uncut Gems and saying, this is the exact same character with the exact same common threads. He's a childish, selfish character. Yeah. The difference is this character doesn't change.
Right. I'm looking at his IMDb right now.
It's a pretty cool video essay.
And there's definitely some exceptions to that rule, but not many.
Yeah.
Not many.
And the guy in the video essay even kind of pointed to Hubie's Halloween, saying like this was he did this awesome Uncut Gems film, and then for whatever, I can't remember the reasons the guy stated. He had some kind of reasons, like he got snubbed at Oscars or whatever. Yeah, he should have got nominated for something somewhere. So he pretty much gave a middle finger to the Hollywood by making Hubie Halloween.
Well, I mean, Hubie Halloween was a Netflix film, right?
Yeah.
So
Anyway, it was, I can't remember the reasons the guy stated, but I was like, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So
I don't think this doesn't need to get, like, what's the story going to be? And why would Shooter McGavin need to be in it again? Why do you need to, is he going to be a buddy to Happy now, or is he going to be the antagonist again? Because, I mean, if he's the antagonist again, then what story are you going to tell and how are you going to make it different from the first?
I don't know. You can do it. They brought Gozer back in Ghostbusters, and it felt different enough. Anyways, moving on.
I don't think, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. was recently doing a cover story for Esquire magazine, and they asked him a question that he's been asked many times, which is, will you ever play Iron Man again? Are you going to return to the MCU? And he's answered pretty much the same way every time. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he said, like, no, like,
The script had to be pretty good.
it would have to be insane, and they'd have to find a way to make it just right, and, like, all this stuff, and
the dump truck of money would have to be really big.
it'd have to, yeah. So anyways, he was doing a cover story for Esquire, and Downey said, happily, it's too integral a part of my DNA. Which, okay, listen, hang
on. So the question is, would you play him again, or are you playing? Like,
would you?
Because I would say the answers he gives to, like, the Joe Rogan podcast is a popular one that people look at when they talk about will he, would he?
Yeah.
And even the answer he gives there is very, like, if, like, he's not unwilling, he would play Iron Man again. So
yeah,
that doesn't surprise me that he would give that answer.
This is the first time that he's been this affirmative to his willingness to do it, though, right?
It
that
doesn't
he's like I'm
like,
and it doesn't surprise me either, right? Like, you're talking about a role that he has played 10 times now.
Yeah,
10 times, and over
and mirrors his own
well over 10 years
personal journey in some ways.
Yeah, but regardless, I think it's just kind of like, it's kind of no different than if it weren't so physically taxing for Hugh Jackman, he wouldn't be near as inclined to hang up the claws, right? He feels some ownership in this character. He's the one that everyone knows as that character. And so it doesn't surprise me for him to say that it's too integral a part of my DNA. Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I mean, you said it best. You are Iron Man. Like, that's, and I don't know that we need to rehash a lot of this. I mean, we've both talked about, we want him back. We agree that you can't just shoo him in there.
No.
Right?
I don't, in terms of, like, this response, I don't think it says anything about what the MCU's plans are. It's just Downey saying, yeah, I like playing Iron Man. Of course I'd play Iron Man again.
Yeah. Yeah. So, God, I hope he does. I really hope he does. So I did some homework. You asked me to do some homework?
I did.
I did some homework. There was a news story, or not a news story, a video that you had watched talking about how Lana Wachowski had intentionally made a shit fourth Matrix film.
Oh, yeah.
And so I watched it.
Yeah. What'd you think?
And you kind of have to, like, there's a whole bunch of, like, it's like a 20-minute video, and the first, like, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a video essay.
The first 15 minutes is just a review. You kind of have to skip forward to the end before.
Yeah, because he essentially reviews the movie twice.
Right.
Right? He reviews the movie from the lens of, this is the sequel to the Matrix.
He kind of breaks down the events of the film.
Yeah, and then he reviews it from, this is Lana Wachowski giving WB the middle finger.
Yeah. I don't, having watched it, I don't think it's I don't think it's impossible. And even he acknowledges, he's like, dude, like, take all of this with a major grain of salt. This is a theory.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible. I think if that is what she did, I think it's kind of stupid and childish. I do. Because this is something we've talked about many times. Yeah, you know what? You guys directed and wrote the first 3. You don't own it. The studio owns it.
Yeah.
Studio owns it. If they want to make another one, they're going to make another one, right? So do I think it's possible? Yeah, it's certainly possible. If it is...
Yeah. He acknowledges that fact.
Yeah. If it is, I think it's
essay.
kind of a stupid thing to do, but whatever.
But like the reasons he gives for why she would do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all the stuff in the film.
Yeah.
It's just like...
You know...
What's George Carlson, I think, is the name of the comedian. Is that the comedian I'm thinking of?
George Carlin?
George Carlin. He's got a quote about...
the guy that does like a lot of wordplay and stuff like that.
Quote on... conspiracies. He's got a quote on conspiracies. Have you ever heard it?
Maybe.
About, see if I can find it here. I might have to add kind of put the Carl spin on it. Oh, I found it, but it's in a video.
No, yeah, can't do the video.
Can't do the video right
Copyrighted.
now. Man. Anyway. Here it is. You don't need, it doesn't need to, hang on.
Struggling?
Retry? Oh, that's 1 of 7.
Ugh.
Okay, it's enough. The first part of the quote is enough. So the quote, he was on a news show or something.
Yeah.
And he was talking about conspiracy theories, and the other guy was like giving him a hard time about, oh, these are just conspiracy theories. There's no truth here.
Yeah.
And he says, you don't need a formal conspiracy when interests converge. These people went to the same universities, same fraternities, yada, yada. Like, they have the same agenda.
What people? What
He's talking about people in government.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, the idea of the quote is when dots align, you don't have to have a conspiracy. It doesn't necessarily have to be a formal conspiracy theory for it to make sense and have weight, right?
Oh, I think,
and that's kind of what this is, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It is a theory.
Yep.
But there's a lot of evidence. It's a really solid theory.
Sure. Now we live in Canada, and you know when you're out there shoveling away, you're shoveling the driveway, you've put a lot of work into achieving what it is that you're achieving.
And then it snows
And then the snowplow comes by while you're standing there in your driveway, and it just feels like all the effort you just put in went for naught.
Yeah, I've had that experience before.
Yeah. Warner Brothers announced Wednesday the 5th installment of its flagship cyberpunk movie franchise, The Matrix, is in development, years after the last movie in the franchise, The Matrix Resurrections, released to mixed reviews and poor numbers at the box office.
Man.
So we have another Matrix movie coming.
Did you say if there's information there on reboot or...
The 5th movie will be directed by Oscar-nominated screenwriter Drew Goddard, who directed The Martian with Matt Damon, making the first time a movie from the franchise won't be directed by Lana or Lily Wachowski. The new movie will be executive produced by Lana Wachowski and bring a new perspective to the series while staying true to its first set of movies released in the late 90s and early 2000s, Warner Brothers told Forbes in a statement.
That doesn't really tell us if it's a sequel or a reboot.
No. Plot details and cast for the upcoming Matrix movie are unknown. Though the 4th movie left several of its main characters, including Reeves and Trinity, alive. So, I mean, here's a question. There's several questions. And I think that the answer to one of them is this doesn't make sense. You know, the first, like, let's take a quick look here at box office Matrix.
The fact that it doesn't make money anymore.
Franchise. Okay. So, The Matrix. The Matrix came out and made $467 million. Which in the 90s, 1999, they were very, very happy with that. That's excellent. Even today, if your film makes $4.5 million, or $4.5 million, over $450 million.
Well, you adjust that for inflation, and that's a lot more.
Then you're happy. But even without adjusting for inflation, it's still a success. The second one, The Matrix Reloaded, came out and made $741 million. Big jump up. Because everyone wanted to see what was going to happen. Then Matrix Revolutions came out. It dropped back down to $427 million. So of the original trilogy, it performed the worst. That could have been crummy word of mouth. That could have been the lukewarm reception that the second one got. It could be a number of things. The Matrix Resurrections comes out a couple of years ago, $159 million. So I'm telling you right now, nobody wants to see another Matrix movie.
No.
Nobody cares.
Okay. I haven't even seen the last one. I haven't seen, what was it, Reloaded? Rebooted? Resurrections?
Because that's literally what they were doing. Because both Neo and Trinity were dead.
Yeah. So I haven't even seen that one. But after watching that video essay, I got a pretty good idea what happened in it.
Yeah. Super meta. Probably the most meta film you'll ever see in your entire life.
Yeah. Man, like, how and why would you do a sequel to that? I don't know.
Well, they could be rebooting.
If you reboot, why even call it Matrix?
I know, like, that's your because there is still, if you're rebooting, here's the thing. I think if you have a crummy fourth film, which they did, if you reboot
and a bad third film and an okay second film and a great first film.
I mean, that's subjective, right? So I think most people agree that the first film's great. I like the second film more than I think a lot of people do. And I have a lot of fun with the third one.
If you graph it on average, it's a downward spiral.
I think I like the third one more than the second one.
Do you really?
Yeah, but that's me, right? I think the fights are better, right? You get that big final fight between Neo and all the Smiths out in the rain, and it's like
the CG in that is so bad.
Well, yeah, but that's the time that it came out in, right?
I don't know. I feel like that's a bad excuse.
It's the time it came out in. But if you reboot this, the brand recognition of The Matrix is worth more than if you just do a direct sequel. Because if you're doing a direct sequel, then people's perception is, well, we already don't like where they've taken the story, and so I'm not interested in seeing how much further they can burn this down. Whereas if you are rebooting it, then people go, okay, I do have fond memories. I do have positive emotions that I associate with The Matrix. And so if done properly, a whole new story set in that universe could be great.
I just had a thought.
I know, and you didn't hear anything I said for the last 30 seconds.
I heard a bit of it.
Do you agree with what I said?
Maybe.
Because you didn't. Do you actually not know what I said?
I heard some of it.
Because I actually no.
Something clicked in my mind, and it just started spiraling, and I couldn't focus.
But I don't care, because I actually want your feedback on what I just said.
Say it shorter than you normally do.
If you do a reboot, the brand recognition of The Matrix is worth more than if you do a direct sequel. Because people...
Potentially.
Because if you do a direct sequel, people are like, you've already taken the story in a direction I don't like, and I don't want to see more.
Potentially. But I think my thought kind of ties into that. But if you do
but if you do a reboot, then people are going, yes, I do have positive emotions.
I don't think people want a reboot.
No, but the brand recognition is worth more. That's why you would still call it Matrix.
Not after the last couple. Not with the trend of the way the Matrix has gone. I don't think it is.
No, but what I'm saying is you ignore the trend.
Listen.
Why do you not care about my...
No. I think what I'm about to say validates your thing. I think it's the only way it works if you use the Matrix name.
You still didn't even really hear my thing, but go ahead.
That the brand recognition is worth something.
But why?
Because it's worth more than having a brand new brand new series. Because you don't have to... And I agree with that point. You don't have to build up from scratch.
That's not what I said, but go ahead.
Prequel.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You do a prequel. No Neo.
No.
You do a prequel because why was Neo such a big deal in the first film?
But we've already seen, like, we've gotten glimpses of the backstory. We know what happened. There's been comics. There's been all kinds of stuff. We already know. We know that there was AI, and then there was robots, and then the robots became self-aware, and then the humans tried to black out the sun. Or no, all the robots, all the machines built their own machine city.
I think a prequel could work.
The machines built their own machine city, and then in an attempt, because they had solar cells.
This is all in the Animatrix.
Yeah, they had solar cells, and then the humans blacked out the sun, or blocked out the sky to try to kill all the machines, and then the machines are like, well, we can use humans as an energy source, and then the whole, like,
right.
It's been done though.
But my mind goes to that origin has been told. But I think you could do like early days of the Matrix, and where the prophecy of the Chosen One.
So what you do, like a young Morpheus and a young Oracle,
maybe even further back.
So a young Oracle,
like, because the Matrix we seen in 1, 2, and 3 were fourth iterations of the Matrix. Third or fourth, because is it the second one that he fights the other quote unquote chosen ones?
Maybe.
I think you go like potentially
whatever like, the architect says.
Yeah, first iteration of the Matrix. And like the rebellion learning to hack in, and the chosen one prophecy kind of coming to fruition the first time, and like, oh, this is then, and then kind of how that lineage kind of gets passed down through.
Yeah, but people are gonna look at that and go, they Force Awakened it, right? There's a chosen one in the Matrix, and then blah blah blah. Like, that's gonna feel too much like a direct, right? Because everyone was like, well, the Force Awakens is just A New Hope all over again. It's just the same story. It's the same beats and the same story. And yeah,
I don't think you have an actual chosen one in it.
Well, that's what you said.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, and I retcon that. I don't think you have an actual chosen one in. I think you just have like the kind of the beginnings of, this is like the prophecy. Like end of the film. I don't know if there was like a specific wordage for whatever the prophecy for the chosen one is, or if it's just like that there will be a chosen one.
I don't think we never hear the prophecy.
I think at the end of a prequel film, there's kind of like the prophecy of a chosen one happens, and it's like, and then it like ties into the Matrix.
And you don't call the film The Matrix; you just call it The White Rabbit.
Sure.
Now I'm jumping on board with your crazy idea.
Is that where's that? come into play with the Matrix? I
Because
know
Neo,
it does.
Neo
somewhere.
has to like follow the white rabbit,
rabbit.
and right, and then there's
Right,
the white
okay.
rabbit tattoo that takes him to that nightclub, and then there's the whole
Okay, right.
Either way, look,
That's the only way I see that.
I understand the temptation. If you're an exec at Warner Brothers and you own the property of The Matrix, regardless of how it's been handled and regardless of the budget or the box office returns and the performance of them, I understand the temptation having a property that is that ripe with storytelling potential, right? That interesting, that sort of groundbreaking in its time, and a fairly well-developed world. Like, I understand the temptation for it. I still just don't know if this really makes any sense, but we'll see. I'll go see it. I saw the last one.
I don't know if I will.
I'll go see this one. Well,
You go see it with Pete. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I had no
you'd
interest.
have some catching up to do.
I had no interest in the last one, and I still don't. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste my time with it.
Well,
So, like,
pull up that list.
I feel
and-
the same way about it that I do Craven. So,
Hang on.
not Craven. Sorry, Morbius.
Morbius. Google Sheets. Hang on one sec here.
You dirty rat! Don't you dare!
Explain to the people what I'm doing while I do it.
There's so much better stuff. Why would you waste our time with that garbage?
Explain to the people what I'm doing.
So if those that don't know, Brady and I have been talking about kind of doing a new
Not
show.
talking about. We've started it.
We started it tonight, actually. Yeah, we're gonna record next week though, but we are doing a new show called I think we should call it "You Haven't Seen X." Like, you haven't seen X?
I think we'll call it. I think it's going to be called First Time Watch. Only because
we'll workshop it.
only because no, but the only
It
reason
makes sense, but
the only reason
ringing.
is because to the uninitiated, First Time Watch makes way more. If it's Goonies First Time Watch as a podcast title, that if you're uninitiated and you don't understand what the show is, that gives you a clearer picture and you'd be more enticed to want to listen to that than something like You Haven't Seen X. People have no idea what that means. I know it sucks. It's not as good of a title, but it's a marketing thing.
Okay,
is what it is.
I don't like it.
Anyways,
but we have a list, a Excel list of. I wrote down a whole bunch of movies that I thought, oh man, these are good. I enjoyed them. I liked them. Whether they're iconic or not, they're just films that I enjoy that I think people should watch. And Brady did the same. And then we went down each other's list and we highlighted the ones that we had seen. And then moving forward, alternating turns, a person will pick from their list a movie the other person hasn't seen because, oh my God, how have you not seen this film?
how have you not seen the newest Matrix movie?
So, yeah.
So it's on there now.
There's very good reasons why people have not watched that film, and I don't know why we would waste our time watching it.
Moving on to our final topic, the teaser trailer, the first of two trailers that Carl will have to watch for the upcoming Joker Folie à Deux film has dropped. Came out at CinemaCon this week. We've now both seen it. I've seen it, I don't know, maybe 6 times. You've seen it once.
Fulfilled my contractual duty.
For the teaser, not the trailer.
Yeah.
Teaser, not the trailer.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to, we heard that this was going to be not necessarily a musical, but it was going to be a musical film. It was going to be a very musical film. There's going to be a lot of, music was going to play a big role in it. We heard not too long ago and we didn't report on it, but it was sort of being reported everywhere, that there was up to or in and around 15 cover songs in this movie. So several films or several songs that people know. And the trailer makes that very clear, right? There's a lot of music in the trailer, and there's some exposition. There's some dialogue that talks about, music is important. Music is something that we use to mend the fractures in our psyche and our, whatever else. So we get that. We get a couple of lines from Joaquin Phoenix. Obviously, we see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. We see the chaos. We see it's not an R-rated teaser, so we don't get the full uncomfortable feeling from this trailer that you get from watching the first Joker movie.
Right.
I'll tell you what, the first time I watched this trailer, I didn't know how I felt. I know
how I felt.
I was like, huh. Okay. And then I went to bed. And I woke up the next morning and I watched it. And then I watched a couple of YouTubers reaction to it.
Sure.
Right? Live reactions to it. And I think the more I've watched it, and the more I kind of get an idea, because you watch it the first time and you're like, so Joker 2 is going full on La La Land. It's got that
the artistic style
kind of thing.
I didn't mind the artistic style. It kind of seems like it's kind of going through the motions with the last one was fairly artsy, but not colorful. Right. Especially just in terms of the storyline and kind of and this just feels like they're hey, this is the next logical step in terms of that art style.
So what has gotten me warmed up to it a little bit more is the notion that potentially a lot of these musical numbers, a lot of the things that are going to be big, extravagant musical moments are things that are happening in his head. Right? That it's a part of his psychosis. Because we saw in the first film, he essentially hallucinates an entire relationship with his neighbor down the hall.
Yeah.
So
half of the movie doesn't actually happen in real
happen.
The real world.
So who knows how much of this film will be like that, if any of it, I don't know. I will tell you now, having watched it 6 or 7 times, I'm still not at the point where I'm like, this looks amazing, but I'm not disappointed by the trailer either. I watch it and I'm like, okay, you have my interest piqued. I don't know what this is about, but I'm not supposed to know what it's about because it's a teaser. A teaser is supposed to give you a feel for the feeling of the movie. It's supposed to give you a taste of the feeling of the tone of the whatever. Your first trailer, that's where you start to get some plot details. That's where you start to understand, okay, what is the story
This
here?
is a pretty lengthy teaser, though.
It is a long teaser.
I think the story details that you can pick out of this, are gonna be spot on.
Oh, for sure. But we will definitely get a clearer picture once that first
I think
actual trailer drops.
Yeah. You're not. Yeah. Anyway, I think there's enough shown that you can make a pretty clear judgment call of whether you're going to like this film or not.
Yeah. Anyways, you've seen the trailer now. What are your thoughts?
I didn't like it.
No?
No.
Tell me why.
I feel like they're completely mishandling Harley Quinn and Harley Quinn and Joker's relationship.
Okay. How so?
So
the deviation from her not being an Arkham psychiatrist?
And that's intrinsic to her character, in my opinion.
Okay.
She is a highly intelligent woman.
Okay.
This is the intrinsic things to her character.
Yeah.
Right? Highly intelligent psychiatrist and successful.
Yeah.
Who gets swept up in trying to cure a madman to the point where she ends up falling hopelessly in love with him, and he cares little to nothing for him or for her, except for the fact that she's infatuated with him,
right?
And it's a new plaything,
right? So you're hoping you were hoping it'd be a more direct carbon copy from the comics.
I think that's a far more interesting story than what I seen from this teaser.
Well, but we didn't really get any story from this teaser.
She's incarcerated as well,
right?
So she could be highly intelligent, but she's already crazy. So
well, we don't know that she's crazy, but
she's in an asylum with him and other inmates that are in an asylum.
Yeah, but we don't know why she's there.
But it doesn't matter. She's suffering from some form of psychosis, or else she wouldn't be there.
It's Gotham. I mean,
but okay. You crap talk on internet trolls.
Why are you about to make this a personal attack? What are you doing?
I'm just calling your logic into question here.
Okay.
Right? You crap talk on trolls.
Right.
Because they don't like a change that's being made, even though that change isn't intrinsic to the character.
Right.
Okay. Fair. That's a fair point. Valid.
Well,
right?
But
when you change an intrinsic...
No, hang on. No, that's inaccurate. What you just said is inaccurate. Because today, in this episode, the trolls I was talking about were complaining that a change had been made to a character when no change had been made to a character.
My point was that your argument is always, unless it's intrinsic to the character, the change doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. So they've changed intrinsic things to both a character and that character and another character's relationship.
So you didn't like the first Joker movie? Because that film is fraught with changes. Bruce Wayne and Joker are half siblings, and Joker becomes Joker as a mid-40s man, and Bruce Wayne is 11 or 9 or whatever, and clearly will never be the Batman to his Joker, right? So that whole Thomas Wayne is Arthur Fleck's father in the first Joker film.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, 100%. So they've already, in this universe, it's already an Elseworld story. It is already, because he goes and he confronts Thomas Wayne in the bathroom at that venue, and Thomas Wayne friggin' decks him one, and then Arthur, either before or after, I think it's before, goes and is at the gates of Wayne Manor talking to a young Bruce.
Is he legitimately, or is it like a creation of his psychosis?
Okay, so then here's a question: Is Harleen Quinzel? Is she an inmate? Or is she one of the doctors that's treating him, and his psychosis is that she's an inmate that's in there with him? Right? We don't know. It's just a teaser, and a teaser for a world that has already been set up to say you can't trust anything we're showing you.
That's a strong argument, but based on the teaser, they're not. That's not what they're doing. Based purely on what we've seen. Now, you've pointed out that you can't trust what you've seen.
Right.
That's a fair point. But there was a lot of footage of her not being a doctor.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I stand corrected. Later, Arthur goes to Arkham State Hospital and steals his mother's records and finds out that he was in fact adopted and that Thomas Wayne is not his father. And that Penny is not his true mother. Okay. So, but that is something that they had explored. Either way, you can't take away the fact that Bruce Wayne in this is the Waynes are still alive, and Arthur is in his
there's a timeline
mid-40s
differential,
and Joker already.
Right. But I think
Because a lot of people would argue, and I might be one of them. Some of the time, I waver on this, but a lot of people would argue that Joker being dropped into a vat of acid is intrinsic to his character, right? That it's dyed his skin white, and it's
right,
and it's whatever, that he's been chemically changed by it. But we've gotten
there are.
But only one of our on-screen Jokers have actually gone that route, and it was the Joker that nobody likes.
There are comic book versions of Joker that don't fall in a vat.
Sure.
But yeah, you could argue that is intrinsic. According to the comics, it's obviously not. But I think, yeah, this kind of, I'm a bit more of a purist when it comes to wanting to see on the silver screen what I've read in books.
But we've already seen that, Harley.
Just hang on. And what I've seen in comics.
You can interrupt me, but
I'm a bit of a purist that way. That's I mean, the record would show.
Yeah.
So it bothers me that these are the changes that seem to are being made. I guess my point is, I'm surprised it doesn't bother you more, because these are intrinsic things to the characters and their relationship. And you always talk about you wanting to see the character kind of, and who they're like. Is it really Harley Quinn if it's not the Harley Quinn we've seen before? You know what I mean? Like, you can change the character, but if you change how the character kind of operates, using this word again, intrinsically, and then is it really Harley Quinn?
Right.
Right? It could be, you could give her some other name and it wouldn't matter.
Right.
Where if you portrayed Harley Quinn's intrinsic characteristics to a T, and you gave her another name, everybody'd be like, but that's Harley Quinn. Just call her Harley Quinn. Where if you watching this trailer, if you said that's not Harley Quinn, nobody would give two craps.
So I would say a couple of things. I would say, is it really Harley Quinn if it's not the Harley Quinn that we've seen before? Well, yes, because if I were to say no and we were to go, well, it's not that character if it's not the exact same version that we've seen before, that's a really dismal projection for creativity and storytelling, right? And then it's like, okay, great. Then I don't ever want to see these characters again or near as frequently, because it's just recycled story.
But it doesn't have to be the same. The intrinsic qualities need to be a perfect example. Staying with Harley Quinn would be the first time we get Harley Quinn animated series and Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. Very different Harley Quinns.
Okay, so
but intrinsically the same.
Yeah, but some things are still, I don't know, like it's already been established that this is an Elseworlds story, right? I think this would bother me more if this was the Harley Quinn for the new DCU, right? And this was the Harley Quinn that was going to be like the companion to our main Joker, who is up against Batman in this whole kind of, universe.
Okay. Yeah.
Whereas in this case, it's not. It's a different take. We've already been given a very different take on Joker, and so I think it just stands to reason then that you'd give us a different take on Harley, and that would be fine, because there are lots of things even within Batman. Like, here's the thing: if you go back to Batman 89, right? Jack Nicholson's Joker. Are we going to say, well, yeah, but Jack Nicholson's like Joker is never Joe Chill killed Bruce's parents, not Joker. So that's not Joker. Because in the comics, Joker doesn't kill Bruce's parents.
Right.
And that's a pretty like that's a big, right? Or that's not Batman because Batman's parents weren't killed by Joker and that's kind of an intrinsic thing to Batman's origin.
I don't know if the fact who kills Batman's parents, I don't think is intrinsic to who Batman is or who Joker is in that argument.
Okay, but it's just an example, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another thing that would kind of fit into that.
And to the point about Joker, I would say the Joker we got in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker is a Joker. Like he's got a lot of the intrinsic values of a Joker at the end of the film because it's an origin story.
I think he
grows into being the Joker that is iconic and intrinsically Joker.
Sure. I think you could do, and you may disagree, and a lot of people would disagree. I think you could do a Flash film or a full run of Flash where his dad's not in prison for presumably killing his mother. And a lot of people would say, no, that's a integral part of Flash.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But at the same time, you could do a story of a youngster who's a speedster whose dad's not in prison. Maybe his dad's dead. Maybe he's adopted. Maybe he has parents, right? Like those are things that, depending on what type of story they're planning on telling. Now, if you are going to do a Flashpoint storyline, well, yeah, you need a reason for him to go back and want to change things, right? We don't know what story they're telling with Joker 2 yet. And so, I don't know. Does it bother me? It doesn't, because I'm still, like, having watched that teaser, it's like an hour and a half to 2 hour, maybe longer movie. We got a 2-minute teaser, 2.5-minute teaser. We can't look at that teaser and say Harley's not a psychiatrist.
You're pinning your hopes of this movie on this could all be in Joker's head.
No. I think I stand to enjoy it even if she's not a psychiatrist at Arkham. But what I'm saying is your argument for why you don't like it, you can't firmly plant your flag in that yet because we don't know that that's the case.
Well, okay. And I'm not saying it can't be a bad film or a good film rather, if these intrinsic qualities aren't carried through the character. Sure it can. But in my opinion, for anybody that knows the character and has a long time joy,
here we go. I got it.
Who got what?
I got it. I got the answer. Good old Reddit, where people are smarter than me. So a couple of people have said my theory is that Arthur is only imagining her as a patient, but she's a doctor, blah, blah, blah. One person says...
One person. One dude on Reddit said this thing that I agree with.
Hang on. See, this is always... You find it on the Google thing, and then you click into the actual link, and then you can't find...
It's like 10 comments.
Oh, hang on. View. Okay. Harley, this is their theory, okay. Right? He said Harley is a fake patient and is actually a psychiatrist pretending to be here to make her pretending to be there to make her research about the patients more... their grammar sucks. But apparently... This is inspired by Harley Quinn's new origin in her comics, in which she does that. So in the comics, Harleen Quinzel, the psychiatrist, has pretended to be a patient in order to break down some of those walls, break down some of those barriers. Here's the thing.
If that's the case,
then everything we saw in the teaser still works.
Yeah.
And there's time and room for him to get into her head.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's perfect.
I would agree. That in terms of Harley, I would agree with.
Yeah.
The trailer still makes it look like Joker's infatuated with her. Which in this universe, even though I don't agree with it, in this universe, I could see that making sense.
Yeah.
Because there's no Batman for him to be infatuated with.
And he's also not I think
Even
in
though
most
I don't agree with it.
I think in most iterations where we see Joker and Harley, Joker is fairly established as Joker for years and has really gone down that crazy trail, that psychotic trail.
Yeah.
Prior to meeting Harley. Right?
Sure.
Whereas in this case, this film could take place 3 weeks after the end of the last film, right? And it's not until really the very end of the last film where he kind of takes that plunge and becomes Joker. And some could argue by the end of the film, he still has to continue to grow into that character. Yeah, he's put on the thing and he's taken the blood from his mouth and drawn the smile on his face and whatever. He's had his first riot with people in the streets and whatever. But is he really fully developed as Joker yet? Probably not. And so to have an undeveloped psychotic patient who's been alone his whole life, and that's some of the fuel that they're using for his motivations in becoming Joker, to introduce that into him and to have all of a sudden, like he said, he's like, for the first time, I'm not alone. It makes sense. It makes sense that that's the route he would go. And I think with the way they've set this Arthur Fleck's character up, in his longing for companionship, he hallucinated a whole relationship. His longing for not being alone. I think if you were to go the standard Joker route at this point and have him not care at all about having someone there, it would be inconsistent with it would feel like a weird retcon to what they've set up.
Yeah.
So anyways, we got to wrap this up.
That's a lot. I think it just makes sense because Batman's not around, but
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed down below. We have Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show, get some fun things in return, like increased voting power on our votes for when we post what movie we should watch and review next.
Finding out what the greatest invention in the world is.
And some bonus content, such as a 2.5-hour episode where Carl and I sit down and debate in many cases. Surprise, surprise.
It may or may not be worth a listen.
Listen, the people who have listened to it have told me they've enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
And we have merch.
Yeah. Do we have any new merch? Now that I'm not like Christmas. In front of my own computer for this, I don't have the merch store open to know what's going on in it.
Yeah, not since Christmas.
We need some like regular new. How hard is it to get new merch? I don't even know.
It's not. I'm gonna snap my fingers and then it's there.
What if I snap my fingers? Do we have new merch?
No.
Let me try again. No.